So I hear it all the time, or I read it all the time, rather, in the YouTube comments that, foam is stupid. You don't need a foam cannon. It's a waste of soap. It's a waste of money. It's just theatrics. It doesn't even do anything. And what's interesting about that to me is that so many brands focus on, we've even on the foam. We've seen so many products, mega foam, super mega foam. There's so much emphasis on foam when it comes to a car wash soap. But yet there's so many people that say foam is useless. And for a long time, I've kind of wrestled with this idea of like, well, is foam useless? Like, what is the purpose of foam? And a lot of people say it's just theatrics, which if it is, I'm totally fine with, because sometimes that's needed. So whether you're trying to grow a detailing business and you're out in real life getting real clients and you're trying to draw attention, I think foam can be a big attention getter. And then also I think foam is just fun. And so I think it's fun to foam your car. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day who runs a little car wash company but has kind of worked his way out of the industry, and then recently got a building, so he put a pressure washer up on the wall and all that, and he started foaming cars, and he called me, he's like, this is so much fun. Like, I don't mind washing cars when I'm doing this. And I'm like, well, yeah, it could be fun. And then through the dry foam method, we've talked about how you can eliminate buckets and kind of, make your car washing more efficient. But I think there's another F that needs to be talked about and doesn't get talked about enough. And I've kind of just been thinking around this, and it's interesting because I have a product that does it, and I just didn't know how to quite articulate it until more recently, is that we need foam to be functional. So functional foam, I think, is actually where it's at. And so I know people say, oh, foam in a car is useless and all that, but I really don't think that's true. I think that when you have functional foam, or foam that is functional, you can take advantage of having the opportunity to get a lot of attention, whether that's in real life or on social media, for how well your soap can foam. But ultimately, we're trying to clean the car, right? And so we need that foam to actually clean. And this actually this whole idea, again, re-stemmed from a comment that I got on YouTube from a really old Adams video that I did probably 6 years ago. And I was comparing their car shampoo to their new at the time Mega Foam, I think it's called. And the Mega Foam is red and a little bit runnier. The car shampoo, of course, is blue and much thicker, kind of like a traditional soap. And the comment that had been, kind of a through line throughout that whole video was like, yeah, but which one cleans? Which one cleans better? And I think that is such an important question, because for a consumer or someone who's kind of just looking for a car wash soap, they want something that cleans. Us as the detailer, we're obsessed with foam and how much it foams. I've seen new versions of products and it says, well, even more foam. It's like, okay, even if you have foam, if that foam isn't doing anything, then what is the point? And that is the problem. And I think why we got to this theatrical foam is that most neutral soaps, they're designed to be like lubricious or, slick for when your mitt slides across the surface for, creating a lot of foam out of a foam cannon, like I said. But other than that, they're not really designed to do anything. And that's kind of what I realized when, I was trying to develop a soap, is like, well, I wanted to release a soap, but like, what does soap actually do? Right. And so I realized that, well, pH neutral soap doesn't really do anything. Yes, it does do something. It looks cool, and it makes the surface slicker for your mitt to glide across the surface when you're cleaning the car, right? But again, I started thinking about this whole dry foam car wash method that I've done a bunch of videos on, where you foam a dry car, you don't do a pre-rinse, or you do a pre-soak before you pre-rinse. And that kind of came from the idea of like, does the pre-rinse even do anything? And I did a video a long, long time ago on a Wash Chems soap, and I tested it 50-50, and I started to find out that like pre-rinsing with water doesn't really do anything, right? And so a pH neutral foam kind of sits there, slides off, and then doesn't really do much, right? And so the problem is that somehow we've equated like thick foam to a high quality product, which I guess that could be true. But another thing that I'm learning that people do is they take half truths and then act like it's the full truth. And so, oh, thicker foam or thicker soap, it's such thick soap. That means it's so good. And which is just not true, right? You can add thickener. In fact, you have to add thickener into the other raw materials that make a soap because it's kind of water-like consistency. So when a brand or a company is touting that their thick soap is better, that does not mean anything. Thick soap does not mean anything. Thin soap does not mean anything. It's just an attribute of the formula. It really, end result means nothing. So that's why I laugh sometimes when people are like, oh, new version, it's thinner. It's like, okay, so you added less thickener. It's not really doing anything, right? What's really hard is to get that soap in a controlled environment to clean the surface of the car, right? So I think that's the big difference that I've really been wrestling with and really been thinking of. And so I think when we talk about like functional foam, it's foam that's just not sitting there, but it's actively doing something on the car. It's breaking down the dirt, grime, and the road film, and it serves a purpose. And that's why with the super soaper, what I've talked about is like letting it really dwell on the surface for 3 to 5 minutes. That's why I talk about the dry foam method, where you're foaming a dry car, but not pre-rinsing it, so you're not diluting down that foam that is hitting the car, because that foam is functional. That foam is serving a purpose. So when you just foam and rinse immediately, you're losing all the potential of what that foam is supposed to do, right? And so think about the dwell time as the cleaning time. And this goes into kind of a thesis or an idea that I have just in general of being very efficient with the products that you use, but also not being so taxing on our own body. I've been detailing for 18 years. I think I'm actually coming up on, my 18th year. Yeah, in May here. And so it's a taxing sport. It's a full contact sport. And so if we can do things, if we could let the chemicals do the work for us, and then we physically have to do less, that is much better. This is a major reason why I am not a huge fan of rinseless washes. Do they work? Yes. Can they work? Yes. I did strictly mobile rinseless washes for 5 years. I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of cars in a rinseless wash method. O&R, I was a big believer in it, right? Still am, still like it, still use it occasionally. I think it serves a purpose, but I just feel like you have to work so hard for that car wash, like so hard. And you're not taking advantage of the technology in the liquids when you're doing a rinseless wash, because you're having to touch so much, especially when it comes to rims and tires and wheel wells, which always seems to get glossed over, right? And so if you think about it from an energy how much energy you're exerting to get a result, if you can just foam a car, let the foam do the work. Again, the dwell time is the cleaning time, right? Helping you break down that dirt and grime, rinse it away, and then you have a much cleaner surface in 5 minutes compared to rinseless washing and a bucket and all that, touching every single part of the car. That's why I'm not a huge fan of rinseless washes, right? It's just you have to exert a ton of energy to get a result. Now, of course, there is caveats to everything. If it's a garage queen, if the car's not that dirty, if it's maybe the second wash of the week or the third wash of the week and the car's relatively clean, I'm still saying there is a place for rinseless washes. I'm just saying for the general consumer, the person who is washing their car once a month, you are definitely going to use a lot more energy and a lot more work for a rinseless wash, right? But again, when you're not comparing like a functional foam and a rinseless wash, you're comparing a pH neutral soap that isn't really doing anything but making the surface, slick, compared to a rinseless wash. For sure, a rinseless wash would be maybe a little bit more efficient because that soap really isn't doing much, right? And so I think this, traditional sense of where we get this of like, well, foam is dumb, comes from the old school way of washing cars of like, you rinse, you foam, you have your buckets, you do a contact wash, whatever, right? And it's like, well, yeah, what is the foam doing here? Why is it not cleaning? What are we doing? And so when we look at kind of the modern take of how to wash a car, which seems really crazy to me that we're like reinventing how to wash a car because it seems so simple. But what I realized is like that pre-rinse isn't doing anything. So going straight to a dry foam or foaming a dry car is much better. You get no dilution from the rinse water. You're getting maximal chemical strength. And again, you're allowing that foam and chemical to bond to the surface. And the more you can let it dwell, the better it's going to clean. Right? So the foam starts gripping that contamination instantly and doing its best to separate it from the surface of the car, because actually that tension of dirt on the car is actually a really, really hard bond to do. So, and again, this is kind of a peek into my mindset of like what I started to think about when I wanted to develop my own soap, you know? So I think we really need to stop asking and looking at like, is the soap thick? How thick is the foam? And judging a product on how thick the foam is, and I'm totally guilty of this too, right? So swiping my hand, oh my gosh, look how thick this foam is. But if the foam is not cleaning, if the foam is not functional, who cares, right? Who cares? I made the Super Soaper runny because it's easier to get into a foam cannon, right? A bucket doesn't really matter if the soap is thick or thin, but I think the best way and the most fun way and the most efficient way to wash a car is with a foam cannon. And so I made the Super Soaper runny so that it's easier to get into a foam cannon. That just made a lot of sense to me. I made the Super Soaper clean. That made a lot of sense to me. I made it foam really well. That made a lot of sense to me, but it also served a purpose as well. So every product is totally surface built, right? So in my opinion, I don't think foam is just for lubrication. I don't think foam is just for theatrics. I think that's an added bonus. If you could have fun while you're washing your car, that seems like a smart thing to do, right? And so I personally do not hold the standpoint that foam is stupid. I love foam. My kids love foam. They love washing the car with me if they get to use the foam cannon. So now it becomes a family event, and you're kind of multitasking or habit stacking, which I'm a huge, huge fan of. And so I even do that with this video. We got B-roll playing as I record a podcast. It's hitting multiple points all at the same time, which I love. And so that's what I view foam as the same thing. I'm recording a podcast and a video at the same time using footage. I am really juicing the lemon, right? And so when you're using a functional foam or a car wash soap that serves an actual purpose, you can hit multiple boxes, check multiple boxes at once, and not be so exhausted. You could also use it in direct sun. This old school method too, I could do a whole nother podcast on, not washing or detailing your car in direct sun is completely just an old thought. You can, the vast majority of brands, not just mine for sure, but the vast majority of brands you could actually use in direct sun, right? It's just how the industry has evolved, right? And so the vast majority of products can be used in direct sun. That was important to me. It continues to be important to me as a mobile detailer or background as a mobile detailer. And so, but yeah, this idea that I'm really starting to develop over this functional foam, I think is a very important one because you get a better result. You get what you're after. And the foam is serving a purpose. So it no longer becomes just theatrics and stupid. It actually serves a real purpose. So I don't know. Let me know, do you like foam? Do you hate foam? Do you think foam is the stupidest thing ever? Do you think it's great? Let me know your take in the comments below. I will link all my products below. Thank you for supporting the Jimbo's Detailing brand. We're 2 years strong, into our 3rd year, rocking and rolling. And I'm just super stoked to have you guys along for the ride. Everyone that tries the products seems to love them. And so the feedback has been amazing. So I will link everything below for my product line and my functional foam. So with that, I'll catch you guys on the next one.